We're bringing together a Geneva population which is very well informed on energy topics, but they've got a general interest. In addition, you've got companies who are coming along, you've got governments who are coming along, and you've also got the thought leaders in the energy area. You're bringing together this community, and it's not a formal negotiation, it's not a set of presentations, but it's rather just an informed conversation. And what you end up getting is an improved appreciation of both the challenges and the opportunities that we've got. Empowering the consumer is an interesting phrase all in its own right. At the origin of the utility business, you had what we called energy end users. And these were the people who were at the end of the line, if you will, whether it's gas or power. And they were effectively using their kilowatt hours, using their cubic meters of gas, and their tariffs and their rates had to pay for the entire system. With the restructuring of the energy system progressively over time, we're seeing today a migration of end users to being consumers, and they're more engaged in the marketplace.
I would say we are just starting we are in the first step of a large change. Maybe it's a revolution. But this change will mainly come from the photovoltaics, which gets more and more cheaper. And once it gets more and more cheaper, we will have more and more little producers and medium producers. And if you combine this with a local storage, you get a decentralization of the market, which will really put the market on its head. So that's why everybody is thinking that the change will be independent if you will have a market opening in Switzerland, because it's quite a question, but it will open by the force of all the private activities.
We're seeing significant improvements in the technology of generating power, delivering the energy to markets. We're seeing a significant improvement in the transmission and transportation, and we're seeing significant improvement at the end use level. So just from the point of view of technology within the energy sector, there's been a huge change, and we expect that to continue.
The risks are related to this future which will come in a certain time. That means because quite all utilities, at least the large one which have large productions, will be in a more difficult situation, because due to all this production and due to the subsidies you will get for certain production, we will have a very low price for energy. The low price for energy is a large risk, because all production you have are financed on the long term. So everybody has to change his model, more or less, to start to invest more and more in renewable energy, but on the other hand also to maintain larger production, to maintain the security of the grid system. So that's a real challenge.
The first step which is happening right now is being able to provide consumers with some feedback on the basis of this data, through a customer portal or through an app around what they're consuming and potentially how they can be more energy efficient. So that's the first step which is happening right now, but I do believe that a lot more possibilities lie in this data. There's huge amounts of data being generated. It's being stored somewhere, I think, and there's a lot of potential for this data to be used. One is from the utilities perspective. You can sell energy efficiency audits, energy efficiency services. Maybe you know which customer is a good potential for a solar roof, who wants to buy storage, and who has an energy inefficient refrigerator or washing machine. So there's this new aspect of new goods and services that can be built based on the data that's being generated. The second is more from the consumer's point of view. We are seeing that the end consumer of energy, like you and me, we are becoming more and more sustainability conscious. We want to know that our energy is clean and is being generated from renewables, hopefully. So data can also be very helpful for the end consumer, so they can really measure what kind of energy they are consuming. They get more and more feedback and in more and more real time around how they can reduce the energy consumption, be more sustainable, and get feedback and also enable them to take action based on this data. And the third is more around using data for reliability, safety, and cost efficiency reasons. So the more data you have, the more better you can predict how much energy is being consumed, what kind of maybe grid assets or generation assets are likely to fail, so you can take preventive action. So and do it at a much total lower cost.
I would say that's the moment now. Now it's a moment to enter, because now everything is moving. In former times, it was, let's say, it was a job where it was clear what will happen in 5 years. Now we don't know what will happen in 1, 2, 3 years. So it's really challenging. I would say it's fun, because now you can be creative, you can combine things, and you can bring new ideas for new possibilities for a better life.
I would say energy for sustainable development is probably the happening place today. You've got so many moving parts and so many things that are changing, with an opportunity to seriously have an impact on the future. What we saw in the past is very different from what we will see in the future. There will be new players, there will be new business models coming to play, and this is a dynamic that anybody who's young and enthusiastic, this is the place to be.